Defense, the other end, the forgotten side of the ball, has always and will always be the most important side of basketball, and today I'm here to tell you why. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is an affordable food and recipe delivery service that you've probably seen all over the internet. The reason they're so popular is because they deliver high quality and fresh ingredients right to your front door, including recipes to go alongside it. This is great for people who want to eat healthier, those who want to try new flavors and recipes, or simply those who want to save money while doing the previous two. They have multiple dietary and cooking preferences, including vegetarian, pescatarian, meat and veggies, family-friendly, fit and nutritional, or quick and easy meals. You can even select the amount of meals you want delivered per week and how many you should feed, meaning you can use it for yourself or friends and family. If you click my link in the description, you can sign up for HelloFresh and get 65% off and free shipping on your first box. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for supporting. Before we start, people will say if you put the best offensive players against the best defensive players, the offensive team will win.
Boy!
If you put the best offensive players on a team together, you would get a team consisting of Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. All these players are giving you good to elite defense. Think of this more as if you were the GM of a team, would you build your identity as an offensive or defensive team? The goal of any team is to win. Even for teams that are or should be tanking, if they were given the opportunity to win, they'd take it. So when comparing the value of defense to offense, we should compare the two teams that consistently get the closest to winning. And when we do so, it's consistently the defensive end that gives teams the edge to make it there. From 1978 and throughout all the NBA expansions, the two teams in the finals have always had some form of elite defense. Like in 1978, the Seattle Supersonics made it to the finals whilst having the fourth worst defense in a league consisting of 22 teams. And while they didn't win it that year, the same happened the next year where they won it all with the sixth worst offense in the league. Them being able to limit rebounding and slow down the former champions got them a ring. If you look at the finals teams throughout the years, 78 out of 88 finals teams have had a negative relative defensive rating, meaning their defense was above average. 51 out of that 78 had a relative defensive rating above negative 2.3. These teams we could classify as very good to elite defenses. And out of those 78 teams, 43 would go on to win championships. If you look at the Celtics, one of the most successful franchises in the NBA, 16 out of their 17 championships, they are ranked higher in defense than offense. Even in the rare instances where final series go to 7 games, 5 out of those 8 series were won by teams with a higher relative defensive rating. Moreover, more teams have made it to the finals with their team being solely predicated on defense, like the 83 Lakers, the 90s Pistons, the 94 Rockets, the 99 Spurs, the 99 Knicks, the 01 Sixers, the 02 Nets, the 03 Nets, the 04 Pistons, the 05 Pistons, the 07 Cavs, the 08 Celtics, the 2020 Lakers, and the 2022 Warriors. Throughout history, teams have been thriving with defense as their main facet in comparison to the opposite. Like 2001, Allen Iverson is one of the most talented players we have ever seen in the NBA, yet the system that was put around him wasn't conducive of winning because balance is truly needed to win. However, Billy King and the organization created a team where AI was solely responsible for the team's offense while the supporting cast locked down on the other end. Due to the lack of scoring versatility and the overall offensive inconsistency, to put into perspective how bad this offense was, while Allen Iverson was averaging 31 and 5, comparatively, his next leading scorer was averaging a measly 12. On top of that, only 5 players out of the 19-man roster averaged above 10 points. On top of that, only 5 players out of the 19-man roster averaged 10 points or more, including Tony Kukoc, who was traded to the team in mid-February, Dikembe Mutombo, who was 34 years old, and Eric Snow, who I rounded up for. Yet despite their offensive incapabilities, this team was able to make a finals run and steal a game off the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. To put into perspective how impressive this run was, after gentleman sweeping the Pacers in the first round, he went up against half man, half amazing in his physical and statistical prime. To pair with Vince, they had Antonio Davis and Charles Oakley as the veteran presidents. This had them as the 8th ranked offense in the NBA. This series was drawn out to 7 games, and throughout the 7 games, the Sixers consistently had a lower offensive rating. Yet, with a magical performance from AI, they managed to pull off a victory. In the next round against Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, Sam Cassell, Lindsey Hunter, and Tim Thomas, all solid contributors to the roster, it became a battle of the best defense versus the best offense, resulting in the best defense coming out on top. And while the run would end in 5 against the Lakers, the concept of a defense-oriented team making it to the finals only intensifies when you look at the 04 Pistons. The 04 Pistons are the epitome of defense. They took players from around the league that were overlooked, underused and undervalued, a team with no defined superstar, and turned them into consistent contenders. Chauncey Billups was on 4 teams in 6 years and wasn't given a chance to develop, yet when he got to the Pistons, he was given an opportunity under Rick Carlisle and every aspect of his game improved. Tayshaun Prince, a late first round pick, made a massive jump from his rookie to sophomore year on his way to becoming an all-defense caliber player. And most impactful of all, Big Ben Wallace. Undrafted, underutilized, and traded for Chucky Atkins. Best described, he went out there with 2 armbands and was just harassing dudes. While offensively lacking, Ben made a name for himself on his defensive dominance alone. He'd grab boards, block shots, and was the core of this team. This defensive discipline and everyone understanding their role led to a scenario that will likely never be replicated, especially with the current state of NBA media, superstar ego, and player movement today. A team of role players and no all-stars securing the 7th spot in the league. This team, in 82 matchups, held 58 teams under the league average 95 points, specifically 90 points, 24 teams under 80 points, 16 teams under 75 points, and 11 teams under 70 points. And in the playoffs, in 23 games, there were only 5 90-point games on the road to a championship, beating out not only the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, but 3 out of 4 teams with significantly higher offensive ratings. Both Rick Carlisle and Larry Brown cultivated a team where offense was an afterthought. If they could stop you from scoring, the likelihood that you could stop them from scoring just as well was almost impossible. And by creating the best defensive unit the NBA has ever seen, it created a championship team. Unlike in the current era where offense is a primary focus for most players, when the greatest offensive talents gathered in Brooklyn, they couldn't even make it out of the second round. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are consistently referred to as the most skilled players and some of the best scorers of all time. They were put in a situation where the East was extremely weak and their only real competition didn't have a second star comparable to anyone on the Nets. Then they added James Harden, someone who is also called the best scorer of all time, someone who Kobe Bryant said his style of iso ball wouldn't work, and put him on an offensively loaded unit. 3 25-plus scorers on the same team, yet they've broken up without even making it to the finals. I won't deny injuries and off-court drama. However, even through NBA discussions, the Lakers and the Clippers, who are synonymous with injury-prone players, were favored to beat them for the factor that history and I have been trying to show you. The same reason the Bucks beat them, the same reason the Celtics swept them. Defense. Even in an era where rules are created to favor offense, defense still stands apart as the factor between individual success and being world champions. And if you want to see why the 76ers are going to win the next world championship, click this video here. I want to leave you with this question. In a playoff series, how many games will the 21 Nets and the 04 Pistons be? If you like the video, like the video. If you don't. Subscribe if you want. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring the video. And I'm done. Okay, bye.